Ms. Owen?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Could you talk to us a little bit about how your learning opportunities will be accessible to female students?
I'm not in a position to answer that.
Okay. Because our mission statement for Knox County Schools is to provide excellent and accessible learning opportunities that empower all students to realize their full potential. And so I'm curious to how you plan to ensure that.
As a public charter school in Tennessee that is following the law of Tennessee, we can have a single gender model school, and I can assure you with the young men that we serve, we will provide equal access for them of a high quality education, just as we've proven at Chattanooga Prep. For the families that are choosing us, every young man sitting behind me is representative of a parent that chose Chattanooga Prep, and we want to do the same thing here in Knoxville.
And I understand that it's legal in Tennessee to have a single-sex school, but we also have federal requirements, and we also have our own mission and vision that we have very carefully crafted. And our mission that we have very, very carefully crafted, that is part of our strategic plan, is to provide excellent and accessible learning opportunities that empower all students to realize their full potential. So while it may be legal, there are lots of things that are legal, but that doesn't necessarily make them right for the situation. And that's why we're trying to ask these questions, is to figure out how it is that you believe what you're doing fits
Owen,
into our...
I have a point of order for Mr. Dubler. So in these charter laws and charter applications, Knox Prep is, of course, an all-boys school. Are they required to adhere to the strategic plans of a district? Is that something that is written into this law?
Thank you, Madam Chair. You know, the way the charter school section of the TCA is set up is that the charter school routinely offers differences that are not found in the LEA. So I don't know of anything in the law that says that specifically what you're saying, which is that they have to adhere to the strategic plan.
Okay, I'm sorry, continue, Ms. Owen. I just wanted clarification on that.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm not talking about the law. Our speaker brought up the law. What I'm talking about is whether this is a fit for Knox County schools. And since we have a strategic plan that specifically speaks to that, whether you like it or not, that's what we're speaking to. So since you have brought up the law, if we want to look at the Tennessee Public Charter Schools Act of 2002, the purpose of the Tennessee Public Charter Schools Act, number one, the purpose is improve learning for all students. And I can't find a way that this improves learning for our female students. So if we are going to improve learning for all students, I need to be able to see how this improves learning for our female students. Number three is to encourage the use of different and innovative teaching methods. A single-sex school is not a method, and so the only innovative teaching method that I have heard is finding joy. And while I'm all about joy, we know. Hey, don't laugh. I've got a little bit. That's not enough. That's not enough. Instilling joy isn't enough for me to turn over 700 of our students to someone who hasn't shown me that they have the capacity to do what they're saying they're going to do. It doesn't matter whether we are pro or opposed to charter schools. What we have in front of us is an application that frankly, the way it is cited, I don't think meets the standards for most of our high school English classes. That's something we need to seriously look at. That's why I pulled out all those citations, because when I'm looking through it, the citations are not adequate. And if that's what we're looking for, I mean, if that's what we're looking at in an application that took months and months to come up with, then that's something we should be questioning. As Reverend Butler pointed out, we're not talking about the philosophy of charter schools. We're supposed to be talking about the application. And if we can't look at it in a concrete way and look at the facts of the application, the citations that we're given in the application, I didn't make those up. Those are the citations they gave us. I'm not choosing, with the exception of comparing to the federal data, because we did get something from the Charter Center that pointed that out. So I didn't choose the citations. I didn't go look these things up. These are not studies that I've gone out and done. I'm looking at the citations they gave us. This is what they gave us. That's all I'm looking at, is what they gave us. We shouldn't be looking at anything else. So, you know, I can go out and look at one of my schools and say, maybe that doesn't look right. But when I'm presenting something that is supposed to be factual and I'm giving a citation that is supposed to prove it, that would be on the person doing that work. That would be on me if I were submitting an application to give that accurate information and to cite it accurately.